Modern art is a reflection on art as a medium. That's a very important aspect of modern art, because we started to reflect about art as a medium in the 20th century. All the time until the 19th century, we had the traditional work of art, which was a representation of nature or of culture or of people, portraits, architecture, things like that. We also have that tradition now in this time. We still have traditional painting, and that's very important for society because it's a lot of education in traditional painting. It's a reflection of our culture and of our thinking and of how far our society has progressed as a culture when it comes to aesthetics and philosophy, politics, a lot of all the important issues of society. But modern art is different from traditional art, or modern painting. Modern art, painting like modern art, is different than traditional style of painting. Especially, I mean, not only in the way that modern art very often is abstract art, but modern art is a reflection on art as a medium. It is a question mark to the things that we take for granted. I mean, modern art is to reflect on what it means to be a human being, of course. That has always been one of the main issues of art. But it's also a reflection, as I said, on art as a medium. Because what can art say? And what can art not say? What is it possible to achieve through art? What is it not possible to achieve through art? How much is it possible that a work of art can convey of human messages or philosophical messages or as a reflection of our consciousness? When traditional painting or so-called figurative painting is on a very high level, then it also has this aspect inside it, because high art or high-level art has always the purpose of high art has always been to reflect as much as possible of the human situation in a given time or in a given context, or even in a timeless context, which we see a lot in Asian art, like Chinese art or Japanese art of the old school. Because that discipline of art was very close to meditation. And that means that actually modern art or the ancient Chinese or Japanese kind of art should be, I feel, more present in Thailand, because Thailand is a Buddhist country, or has Buddhism as the essence of spiritual life in society, and Buddhism is very close to modern art, because modern art is to understand our own concepts. And modern art is actually to understand our own concepts, because modern art is about to see the limitations of art and the possibilities of art. Modern art is actually more spiritual than traditional art, and closer to meditation and closer to philosophy. But at the same time, when traditional art is made on a high level, like they did 2,000 years ago or 1,500 years ago or 500 years ago, then these aspects are also very present in that art. I think that the most important thing is to understand that art is simply not only a representation, it is not only decoration, it is not only something that should be beautiful or something to put on the wall, something that we can call art and feel happy about, that can enrich our lives. It's also that, of course, but it is very important to understand that art is a reflection of how human beings think and of how we understand ourselves, and furthermore, how we see the limitations of our own perception. Many philosophers like Schopenhauer and Kant and Plato is very connected to art and sees art as the timeless discipline, because it is a discipline without language, and yet art is of course constituted by language, and the language is color and rhythm and composition in any possible way. But to understand that art is an inseparable part of philosophy is quite important, and that is the most essential argument of modern art, namely to reflect on how the human perception is working and what we are able to cultivate and develop as a human society through the means of art and aesthetic reflection and cultivation.